Yo, Blue, should I start?
Yes.
Hello everyone, this is day 26 of trying to learn how to trade. I was not live for a few days, Red was going live. I'm sorry, Blue was going live. I was not going live because I had an infection in my throat. I could not speak, but we are back. Right now, I guess. Yo, Blue,
Mm. Yes.
there's a there's a noise, unusual noise coming from your end. It's kind of an humming noise type of. I don't know. It has not stopped.
Well, check. I'm mute.
Yeah, okay, it is not coming now. So right now we created a support zone, market tapped and went up. Another support zone, market tapped, market has not tapped and we're going to remove all this. This, this. Okay. So first of all, let's recap quickly. Market tap, market was inside this, tapped in here, and then shot up, took the slanting liquidity that was being made that had been made right here, the slanting liquidity. It got tapped in and then stopped out on this path. But if you go on the lower time, but if you look from this perspective, you could see that market started in a gap up opening. However, there is a reason for that. The market, you know, uh, where's 24? Yo, today is 24, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So as you can see, market started from I guess right here, the gap up opening. As you can see, this was the point with which broadcast. This is the point that was taken out. You know the saying high liquidity that was being formed. This was the latest liquidity that had been taken out. As you can see, market went down, took the liquidity, gave a little bit more, and then continued upwards. It's creating momentum till here. However, why we did not have a gap down opening? I mean, there's a common concept that there would be a gap down opening because market just took a major liquidity because the daily high is a major liquidity. However, market stopped in a pullback, even though it was cleanly bullish for so long. See on the 4 hour time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, sorry. As you can see, market has shown extremely high bullish momentum, and even though it shows this much bullish momentum, market stopped in a pullback. There was no news regarding anything that was going to shift this strong of an upside momentum into a downside momentum. However, market stopped in a pullback, so it was expected that market would open in a pullback in a gap of opening. However, now as you can see, the candle that I'm a little bit skeptical about is this one right here. As you can see, this candle right here took out the gap down opening and it took the gap up opening. No, it took the gap up opening. However, it also took the high and everything that has formed today. Let okay, yeah, this is the thing. As you can see, market started here, it went up. This candle right, I don't know if it is a news or anything because I don't think so. There's any news being thrown out in the Tokyo session. However, this candle right here, it actually broke the high of the I guess the bullseye momentum that was being shown, from the downwards up, and this also took the gap of opening liquidity right here. Right now, this zone is kind of consolidating. As you can see, a longer lower peak, which shows a high bullish side momentum, or the upper news wick shows a high sell momentum. Whichever area it breaks into, we are going to place a trade alongside that area. However, what this is the level that I've marked, and I wish that this thing right here. I guess let me mark this level. If if this level breaks out, no, I'm not talking about a week. I'm talking about if candle closes above this level, we can expect a long, and we're going to target this. Okay, this is what I'm expecting right now. I guess let's go to the DXY now. Okay, the support zone that has been marked, DXY is right now in that zone. If it moves down till the zone, gold is going to reach other highs like this thing. However, if I guess it does not, it right now, I guess it has been consolidating right there. I guess when is the news? The news is going to come 2 days after, and because of all these news, we are going to wait until all these news. If we want DXY to shoot up or shoot down, they're all going to depend on these news. Right now, I'm heavily on DXY going downwards. I guess that's it. Let me put a 15 time frame. I guess yes. Okay. So market showed a gap up opening. No, market showed a gap down opening right here. And then this candle took out everything. Candle, this was the same candle I guess that showed the different kind of bullseye. So, thing I'm not a bit skeptical about is this because in a chart that has such smaller momentum, this is the only candle that has this much used momentum, and I think that this candle is a new candle because as you can see, this is the only candle that has shown this much movement. Yo, Blue, can you check if this candle at this time we had, I guess, a high, if there's a
Mm,
high impact news or anything on this time
okay.
frame, right? 5:15. I don't think so. There would be any, but it feels like there would be.
No, there wasn't.
Okay. Yo, Blue, I need to stop, I guess, kick because my. Okay, I guess this is it for today. This is the only setup that is being formed right here. Okay, on the DXO time frame, this candle was showing flow. If there was a news, I guess this is shown. If there was a news, it would have shown right here too. I think the, I don't know why this candle has happened, but we'll see, and I'll tell you next day. I guess this is it for today. We'll meet you tomorrow for day 27. Bye everyone.
Bye.